rumors maybe of the IBar North.
Yeah.
Is this an extension or a way to display some of that seasonality? I mean, what's the relationship with the lounge? And I'm referencing Almont Resort and the lounge there, right? Is classic.
Yeah. You alluded to it earlier in our start of our conversation. You kind of cut your teeth there the first year you landed here. So
That's right.
And I didn't have any history at the Almont. It wasn't like deep love affair because I spent a bunch of time there when I was out here. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to the bar as much because I was more on the athletic side. Doesn't mean I didn't drink beer, but this year, as I alluded to, I guess, we're very seasonal. We open in mid-April and we close our doors in roughly mid-October around here. We have we don't have any heat source out there, no four walls to a building or anything. So forced by Mother Nature to really close down. And the Almont Resort is under some new ownership, and the general manager actually did some bartending stints out at the IBar Ranch 2 seasons ago. And so he knew what we're all about, and he thought it would be great to maybe partner with the IBar and put our gear and our brand, so to speak, to work and help bring some vibrancy to the middle of the valley, Almont, which is not known for typically a ton of vibrancy, and that's it's known in small circles, what Almont used to be maybe, and it was known for a good time there, and they bring in some live music was my understanding and stuff like that. But it's been a great partnership.
Welcome to the Koolers Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and I'm excited to have you join me as I interview community members and business leaders from the communities in which I live, work, and serve through my business Kooler Garage Doors. We're going to bring you highlights on characters in our communities. Why? Because community matters, and I want to know more about who is behind our business and leadership in order to understand and support the community fabric that our relationships make up. And collectively, we can build stronger communities that support our lifestyles, our youth, and our health.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Koolers Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn. Today, for the first time ever, we're actually live. I've got my friend and guest, Bryan Wickenhauser, here with the IBar Ranch.
All right, man.
What's up, dude?
This is interesting and cool.
Yeah, we got close quarters.
Yeah, thanks for being flexible. We're having little internet challenges at off-site IBar location, so here we are. Yeah,
so I love it. This is going to push me. I've been thinking about the live setup.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that do it, but I actually think my live setup's going to be at our Junction location.
Oh.
Well, if we do this live again, we'll have to get down there, and I'll give you your own chair.
Okay. Yeah. And a helicopter to get me there?
Helicopter, we'll work on that.
Cool.
Work on that.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in between Milwaukee and Madison, Wisconsin.
Right on.
Brew capital. So grew up ski racing and being quite athletic as a kid. And grew up in Waukesha and later East Troy. And East Troy is kind of famous for a small little ski resort called Alpine Valley. And in the winter, it's about 350 feet, about as tall as Craner.
Yes.
Just a couple more chairlifts left to right than Craner. And then in the summer, it's ironically a rather large music venue, amphitheater.
Okay.
And we live 3 miles north on a lake up there. And
gotcha.
There's lakes everywhere, like in Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you're from. And so I grew up skiing, and if I wasn't at a concert in Alpine Valley, I certainly heard it because the sound projected north towards our house. So I like to say I caught every concert at Alpine Valley every summer. It was seasonal, and moved out to Colorado for more skiing, and not more music by any means, but it's certainly morphed into my career now. So
yeah, that's cool. So first question, are you an owner? Are you Packers owner?
I am a Packers owner. You can just into an NFL owner here.
Right on.
You probably might struggle to find another Kooler podcast with an NFL owner. So
I might. Yeah, I'll note it.
And don't ask me about what we're doing with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, it's kind of
fair enough.
At the ownership level yet.
When did you come out to the Gunnison Valley?
Well, I came out in high school truly just for some ski opportunities, and then truly landed Permanently in the Gunnison Valley in the fall of 97, August 97, came out for a ski coaching position at the Crescent Butte Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, because as I alluded to, I was a ski racer growing up, and then when I curtailed my athletic career in ski racing, alpine ski racing, Brian Krill and I moved out together in the summer of 95, and I went to Summit County for 2 years, and then he went right away to Crescent Butte because the Crescent Butte Academy was there, and he was wearing multiple hats there at the academy. One was athletic director, and so 2 years later, in 97, he called me in the summer and said, "Hey, got an athletic alpine. We need an alpine ski coach to fill the roster." And he's like, "Would you move over to Crescent Butte?"
Yeah.
So I said right away, yeah, because I'd visited 96 and 97 because he was here. I'd come out every summer or winter to see him, and knew great things were happening at the academy, and came out here in the fall of 97, started becoming a dryland ski coach. I think the next fall I was a soccer coach for the academy, but that fall of 97 I was also a mountain bike team coach and had a lot of crossover with the athletes as well.
Yeah.
And then was a ski coach all winter.
Do you know John Charlton?
Yeah, JC, yeah, for sure.
He's a good buddy.
Yeah.
Goes way back.
Yeah, we're putting on an event together at the IBar this coming spring.
No kidding.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, some rendezvous.
I'd love to run into him.
My 19th year. Yeah.
I came out here in 97 too.
Oh, cool. We're the class of 97 here.
And that's why I was saying I grew up at the Almont Resort.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll segue yours out. Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Luke from Kooler Garage Doors. Just want to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Sommar Garage Door Openers. In our opinion, Sommars are the highest quality product on the market today. We recommend them for all of our residential garage door installs because of the variety of features they include, such as Wi-Fi connectivity and safety features such as a fixed chain, which moves along a secure rail to ensure your garage door opens quietly and safely. Click on the link in the description to learn more about Sommar Garage Door Openers.
That's awesome. So working at the academy, coaching, take us through like that early 2000s to where we're at today, because you're not necessarily coaching or actively maybe with your kids, but
No, yeah, right. Not as intensive a coach anymore. And I guess, athletics have always been a big part of my childhood, high school, college, adulthood, basically. And whether I was an athlete or a coach, balance both sides of that. And boy, I guess I also moved out. It's important to say I moved out with a location neutral job, 95. Working with my father at Midwest Leasing. He was so sure about location neutral type careers at that point in 95. So I moved out with that, and that was my career. Besides athletics, Midwest Leasing was my career until maybe just a couple years ago, and have been doing less and less of that as more and more of my time has gotten taken over with, in career-wise at least, the IBar Ranch. I was able to balance that career-type position with my athletic endeavors, which I stopped ski coaching in 2003 at the Crescent Butte Academy because predominantly I wanted to focus on some athletic endeavors, endurance racing, multi-sport adventure racing, really, with the formation of Team Crescent Butte, which turned into a year-round athletic endeavor. We started out doing these multi-sport races with 3 other teammates of mine in the Valley, and that teammate roster kind of got pretty fluid at times, but we were fortunate enough to have great success and chase races around the world, race in like 17 different countries around the world, and it not only multi-sport adventure racing, which you think of maybe more spring, summer, fall, but then we morphed into a ski mountaineering team as well, doing races that are somewhat similar, maybe not as long in length like the Grand Traverse of Mountain Grand Traverse, or the skimo scene that is quite vibrant now in Colorado, and we were on the cusp of bringing that to Colorado because we'd go over in the summer and race in Europe, and a lot of our competitors in these adventure races we'd ask them, how do you train in the winter? What do you do to keep fit? And they were all mountain folks like us. They'd say ski la randonnée, and we're like, what? We don't speak French. It's ski mountaineering. And so we love to climb peaks in the summer, so it felt really natural. And we were all kind of telemark skiers and go in the backcountry as a team Crested Butte. Just that gear. We were at the right time, right place, and had more great success athletically with ski mountaineering. Got to do a bunch of races around the world in that. And then, morphed into having kids in 2010 and 12, and that curtailed my athletic career. And so
That's awesome.
just always looking for more sense of adventure, and got into the IBar Ranch, I guess.
Yeah.
Next segue.
Yeah, it's a good segue. I want to know, really, so for some of our listeners, maybe folks are in Grand Junction, maybe they're around the valley that, still have yet to know a lot about the IBar Ranch. Maybe they've seen it, as they fly in, because it's right as one night a runway.
Yes.
And then I'm curious, I love history. What's the history of the IBar, and then how did it become a music venue?
Sure. Well, the deep true history is that the IBar Ranch was homesteaded by the Howard family. Let's just call it the late 1800s in the Powderhorn Valley. That is the IBar brand, the IBar Ranch.
In Powderhorn.
In Powderhorn, yep, by the Howards. There are still a number of Howards, in the Gunnison Valley. I can't speak to the Powderhorn Valley, but or Lake City, or they've Grand Junction, I believe, some of them. Anyway, so the Howard family really homesteaded that and started the IBar brand, and then they raised cattle and, of course, and hay and stuff like that in the Powderhorn Valley. Quickly to 1992, Dick Bratton, his wife, who's Donna Howard, maiden name, they were married in the 50s, I think, Midwestern. Anyways, they started what is now known as the IBar Ranch. That is the venue that we're talking about now currently. Started in 92 as a chuck wagon dinner venue. That is rather unique to the West. There's several of them still in operation today. I think the Flying W down in Durango, I believe, is probably one of the most well-known in Colorado. And it's a really popular tourist attraction. And so Dick wanted to create that and bring some tourism opportunity to the lower end of the Gunnison Valley with the IBar Ranch and the chuck wagon dinners with the IBar Wranglers. And then that business curtailed in about 2002 or 2003. Ironically, a side note, my wife and I got married there in 2003. My wife was cleaning Dick's office. He's also a lawyer, professional lawyer in water law. And she just asked him, in 2002, like, hey, could we get married out there? And wasn't really known as a place, as a wedding venue per se, but some other locals around that time have gotten married out there. I run into just because they knew Dick or Donna. But the chuck wagon dinner business curtailed in, like I said, about 2002 or 3, and then sat dormant, just cobwebbed up, at least for about 10 years until I raised my hand in 2013.
What made you raise your hand?
Just I wanted to see some vibrancy, and that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. But in my mind, it meant live music, and I also knew it could be a great wedding venue because of the history I had out there and the great experience. But I knew the experience could be clearly enhanced, let's say, from a wedding standpoint. But I just thought like vibrancy for me meant like live music. And, one-off events, whatever, because I curtailed my athletic career, as I alluded to, in 2012 or so. But I started, finally having some downtime maybe from athletics. And I was like, man, I started to want to crave some live music. And I found myself always going to the north end of the valley for live music, other mountain towns as well. And I just wanted some live music where I lived and wanted to do something about it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and I knew this venue was just sitting dormant. I really thought it had a lot of attributes. The bones there were capable of producing some really cool experiences through live music. And weddings, memorable weddings too.
Yeah.
So those are the two products I think that the IBar, sells. It's basically a service, but industry. But live music and weddings are kind of what we hang our hat on.
Yeah, I love it. And over the years, you've done some developments out there. You seem to be getting traction as far as bringing bands in and putting on events. And what have you, I guess, how has it morphed?
Yeah. Well, the bones, like I said, were there. The foundation was there. A lot of the attributes, whatever you want to call it, assets. But I've just brought a lot of additional improvements, enhancements for not only the wedding scene, but obviously live music, and then trying to, as we felt comfortable, bring in bigger and bigger name acts. Culturally, I think from a live music standpoint, Gunnison was not really known. I think the townspeople in the 2000s weren't really expecting a lot of the live music, so they didn't go out for a lot. It would happen once or twice a year at Cattleman's Days or random winter concert or random summer concert maybe, but it was a culture change, I think, really. And so it took a while to build a customer base and to get them out once or twice a year. Plus it's seasonal, so it's not like I'm selling that experience in the winter time. So in the winter, I'm out of sight, out of mind. And in the summer I have to ramp it back up and get them all excited again for that live music experience again. And I've been told that, it takes about 5 years to get a business to be, stable enough where you're like, it's going to succeed or be, have some legs to it, that 5-year mark. And I think with a seasonal business, you add 5 more because we go away every year, we come back, we go away, come back. And so I like to believe that, man, it takes almost 10 years for a seasonal business. And the other thing is that, the industry I'm in, live music business, I didn't want to believe it that it's tough, but man, it's tough now. I'm here going in my 11th season, and all my competitors are either Wall Street billionaires, basically, or nonprofits that are run by boards that can ascertain grant money to keep or to produce live music, etc. So it's challenging from that standpoint too. To enter into this takes a lot of resources, and I was not blessed with a lot of resources. I didn't, I don't have fat bank accounts, and I still don't. But certainly when I started, it was pretty meager, and I was just, man, I'm known for pushing big boulders up hills and being successful in that metaphor. So I was,
well, that's what I love about this, because when I have conversations with folks, and this is no different, I love seeing how somebody's story and excitement for the future is actually tied in to where they started. It's one of the reasons why I ask where you grew up. Sure. Because now I'm starting to thread through where you grew up next to a music venue.
Yeah.
And you benefited from that. You were influenced by that. You were an athlete. You get this nitty gritty drive, and then you take on an IBar ranch, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that IBar brand, even back in the day, was full grit, like tenacious.
Yep.
And any brand that was homesteading out here had to be, especially if it's lived for the 130, 40 years.
Yep. I'm sure the foundation of that, they didn't start off with a bunch of employees helping them. I'm sure it was mom, dad, and the kids just rolling the sleeves up and
that's right,
getting rocks out of the field and, getting the fields fertile. And
Mr. and Mrs. Howard in a covered wagon, like living the dream. And so that grit, I think, just plays super well. And I've heard some rumors maybe of the IBar North.
Yeah.
Is this an extension or a way to display some of that seasonality? I mean, what's the relationship with the lounge? And I'm referencing All Lot Resort and the lounge there, which is classic.
Yeah. You alluded to it earlier in our start of our conversation. You kind of cut your teeth there the first year you landed here. So
that's right.
And I didn't have any history at the Almont. It wasn't like deep love affair because I spent a bunch of time there when I was out here. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to the bars much because I was more on the athletic side. Doesn't mean I didn't drink beer, but this year, as I alluded to, I guess, we're very seasonal. We open in mid-April and we close our doors in roughly mid-October around here. We have we don't have any heat source out there, no four walls to a building or anything. So forced by Mother Nature to really close down. And the Almont Resort is under some new ownership, and the general manager actually did some bartending stints out at the IBar Ranch 2 seasons ago. And so he knew what we're all about, and he thought it would be great to maybe partner with the IBar and put our gear and our brand, so to speak, to work and help bring some vibrancy to the middle of the valley, Almont, which is not known for typically a ton of vibrancy, and it's known in small circles, what Almont used to be maybe, and it was known for a good time there, and they bring in some live music was my understanding and stuff like that. But it's been a great partnership, and we're looking forward to continuing it. It really helps the IBar brand, I think, because it gets us known to the valley residences, like, hey, that's right, the IBar, I got to check them out again in the summer. Now they're doing this in the winter, and helps with the marketing and just people thinking IBar and the love that they have for live music, and the IBar can be behind that love affair, man. I'm making new and additional customers and repeat customers and instilling the IBar brand into them.
Well, I get the sense that the IBar is not a location, it's a production experience.
Yeah, well, and live music is just that. It's an experience, and hopefully a great, memorable experience. And so wherever we touch that customer with that great experience, whether it's IBar North or when now they're going to remember, oh gosh, we got to get out to the IBar this summer because that was so fun this winter, and look at their lineup this coming summer. We want to hit that and that and that concert. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, our friends are getting married out there this summer too. It's going to be awesome, and they really warm up to the IBar even more so, especially after a wedding, and they've been to several concerts there. And I'm speaking from the local standpoint. I mean, many of our attendees are from out of town, second and third homeowners, or just tourists coming in to experience the Gunnison Valley, and we're one night of their like must do in summer.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
Yep,
I love it. So do you have regularity? I see a little bit of a schedule. So for the Almont Resort partnership, what does that look like? Is that every weekend? Is that an event that police on our calendars?
Yeah, it's we're into our 5th concert. I think we started the 17th of December, and we did the 23rd and then New Year's Eve, and then we've had 2 already this January, and our 3rd one's coming up tomorrow night with East Gym. So we try to do one every week, to your pointed question. Yeah, once every week all the way through till the list stop turning. So we've got this Snow Dance Winter Concert Series is what we're calling it. So it's, hopefully we'll probably do it again. I'm anticipating next winter as well, and it'll be just something that the locals and tourists can rely on. That's live music while the lifts are spinning.
I love it. Yeah. Where do we find information? So whether it's looking at the summer schedule, the winter schedule, or I want to book a wedding, where do we go?
Yeah, I guess one of the best go-to spots is clearly the IBar Ranch's website. It's ibarranch.com, pretty easy. But then I've learned so much on marketing. I mean, you just have to be everywhere, and you have to, because every demographic has their go-to spots to find a business. It doesn't matter, I'm in the live music, so I got to touch them with print and posters and radio and, digital marketing, social media, Facebook and Instagram are great places to also, if you use those social media platforms to find out what's happening at Almont IBar Ranch. Other than writing letters in the sky with an airplane, we try to touch them almost on all those marketing platforms I just mentioned. So
that's funny you mentioned the letters, because you literally have advertising for folks leaving and coming in on a plane.
Yeah, and that's true too, because as you're alluding to, we're at the east end of the airport on the approach from the east, or taking off from and heading east, you'll fly right over the IBar Ranch. And yeah, we've got the big hay barn roof with the letters spelled out, IBar, on it.
Yeah.
In our customary red and white. So
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Awesome. All right, so we'll include those in the show notes for sure. Go check out the IBar, check this venue.
Yeah.
Check out Almont for the winter series. And that venue, by the way, yeah, I love learning the history of it.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Powderhorn brand. The venue is absolutely gorgeous, right at the foot of Tenderfoot Mountain, W Mountain.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful spot in the summer, that's for sure.
It is. The artists love it. The attendees are blown away, especially the out of town. I mean, even the locals, time after time again, I mean, we just get some beautiful sunsets and stars, and I mean, the lights on stage, and it's just an amazing experience, whether you've been there 15 times or your first time there. And large bonfires, what we're known for.
That's right.
And just a mechanical bull we have, and just the authenticity of the whole place just feels like a great Western heritage, Western slope experience for a night, and you get to see XYZ on stage. Hopefully and you're enjoying that music, and just a great experience is really what we strive to, because then we know you'll come back. If you don't have a great experience, they're not going to call Kooler, or they're not going to go back to the IBar. So definitely strive for great experience, and by all accounts, we have great success with that. But we're also a small market here, I mean, other competitors, we're blessed to be in Colorado, where there's so much great live music all the time. Every mountain town's got an amazing venue, and Front Range is littered with tons of great venues, with the pinnacle being Red Rocks, and try to get some of those bands that are playing Red Rocks or fiddlers, and have them come through, or the Mission Ballroom, and have them come through the IBar Ranch. And I do have some success with that, and man, it just brings such amazement and joy, I think, to all the locals who live here, creating a sense of place, to know that that band is coming through, and in Gunnison too. It's to see the north end of the valley come down to support live music in the southern end of the valley is quite culturally shocking, and very proud of that, because to get the north end of the valley out of the north end in the summertime is sometimes quite difficult. But if you get the right bands in the right space and place, and they really do appreciate it. A lot of my friends, and they're just so happy for me, and happy to have this experience in place. So
Beautiful.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I appreciate your tenacity in putting that together and creating that venue in Gunnison. I think it adds quite a bit to the community.
Yeah, we live here, it's one of the, you're proud. I mean, I if someone else did it, I'd be psyched, to be like, oh, we have this place.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any big names on the hook for the summer?
Nothing. The only band at this point, here we are, end of January, is Spafford is playing 2 nights, June 30th, July 1st. They've played 2 nights at the Public House the last 2 winters, and that's the only one I can really talk about. Everything else is just speculation.
In the works.
Yeah, in the works, some Hail Marys, but there are some encouraging, exciting things if I can land them, of course. So, but it's just too early to put out there to get everyone excited. It crushes me in February or March when I get my hopes up and my emotions for it, and then they're like, no, it's not going to work. I've learned to not get too excited about anything till it's for real.
Listen, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, great to have a space in here too to do this in person. I know this wasn't the goal, but
This is the first time. We'll see how the recording comes out, and thanks for being the guinea pig on there.
cool.
Appreciate it.
Congrats on Kooler.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.